Hey, Mr. Albert here, and we're going to factor some quadratics practice problems. The first one, A, is 2x squared plus 17x plus 21. So if you haven't been through my video or my list explaining the steps I'm going to go through, it would be a good time to go back and take a look at that because that's the template I'm going to follow. So in this, the first thing I always do is I always pull out any common factors throughout here. So I look at this and I see 2, 17, 21. Nothing will go into all three of those. So my first step is not really going to accomplish anything. But if you watch the videos, you know that if you skip the first step, sometimes you will make some mistakes. So in this case, our A would be 2 as we continue, our B would be 17, and our C would be 21. Okay. So then we're going to look for our two numbers that we need to work with. So we need two numbers that multiply together to give us A times C, and A is 2, C is 21, so that's a product of 42, and add up to be our middle term B, which is 17. So let's see here. We need two things that multiply together to give us 42 and add up to be 17. I think those numbers should be 14 and 3. We know they're both the same sign, and we know they're positive, so 14 and 3 do work. We can double check that. Next, we're going to put those into our factors, so we're going to lead off with the A value, which was 2x, and then plus 14, and then 2x plus 3. And we know that it's not done since we put a 2 in both leading terms, but in the first one we can pull a 2 out of 2x plus 14, so we pull a 2 out and leave x plus 7. And as we talked about, if we pull something out here, we'll throw it away. Nothing comes out of the second set, 2x plus 3. And I'm pretty much done because I didn't pull anything out in step 1. So this is my factored version of x plus 7, and that's all times the quantity of 2x plus 3. Okay. If none of that made any sense, you probably need to go back and watch the videos of how I'm processing this. Okay. B. Quadratic 30y squared minus 87y plus 30. So here we're going to go through our steps, and I do see that I can pull a common term out. 30, 87, and 30 are all divisible by 3, I believe. And that's the number I'm going to keep until the end. But 3 into 30 leaves 10y squared. 3 into 87 is, let's see, that would be minus 2 and 27, minus 29y, and then plus 10 at the end. So looking at that, we're going to break down the quadratic with A of 10, B of negative 29, make sure that negative comes with it, and C of 10. Okay, so let's work toward our two numbers. So we need two things that multiply together to give us A times C, which would be 100. That's a positive 100, so we know both our numbers are positive or both of them are negative. They have to be the same sign. They have to add up to be B, which is negative 29. So we now know that our two numbers are both negative. If you play with this long enough, you'll figure out negative 4 and negative 25 should work. You can double check that. So we'll place those into our two factors, leading off with A, which was 10, so 10y minus 4 times 10y minus 25, and then we can pull out anything that's extra there. So 10y minus 4, we can pull a 2 out of there. We're going to throw that 2 away, but it will leave 5y minus 2. And the second term, 10y minus 25, we can pull a 5 out of there to throw away, which will leave 5y minus 5. So we're going to come back down here to the end, and don't forget we pulled a 3 out in the beginning, so that 3 should be there. So we'll have 3 times 5y minus 2 times, ooh, I could have pulled out, well, I did a mistake, so let's go back and fix it. So when I pulled a 5 in step 3 and 4, so when I pulled a 5 out of 10y minus 25, it should have left me 2y minus 5. So I make mistakes. I can't even write sometimes, but let's see here. 2y minus 5. So that's my second factor. I have 3 times 5y minus 2 and now times 2y minus 5. If you ever question that, you can always multiply all that back together using distributive property or full, whatever works, and see if you get the top thing. If you do, you did it correctly. Example C to work through is 4x squared plus 43x plus 30. Okay, so some relatively large numbers, but let's see here. My step 1, 4, 43, 30, no common factors. I know sometimes you get aggravated writing the same thing down more than once, and you don't have to, but I do want you to get used to looking for these things, and if it takes writing it all 5 steps down, then so be it. And in that case, since nothing came out, the A is 4, B is 43, and C is 30. So, I'm looking for our two numbers multiplied together to give us A times C, which would be 120, and add up to be B, which is 43. You can play around with that for a little bit, but it is 3 and 40. They have to be the same sign, and they add up to be a positive, so they both have to be positive. So we got our two numbers. Everything else is just systematic. So my two factors I set up in step 3 lead with A, so that's 4x plus 3 times 4x plus 40. In step 4, 4x plus 3 does not have a common factor, so I'll just bring it down. 4x plus 40 has a common factor of 4 that I'm going to throw away, which will leave x plus 10. Going back to step 1, we did not pull anything out, so step 5 is our final answer, 4x plus 3 times x plus 10. All right, thank you.